Hello, and thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Water Cooler Guys Chat. Now please welcome Niswonger, Wiseman, and Mortar. Take it away, fellas.
Quiet and stoic here. Hello and good evening, everyone, or good morning, depending on when you're listening to this here. Thank you for joining us around the water cooler this week. This week, we will be reviewing Superman 2025, the newest Superman movie coming out, or has already come out, I should say. Everyone should either gone to the theater and seen it, or it's on streaming services now. So if you haven't seen it, recommend seeing it so you can have your own viewpoint on it. We also be doing
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, that's right. As well as we'll be having a Keep 5, Cut 5 segment, and then we will also have another segment which I will review later on here, so that way the fellas don't know what it is, so it should be pretty fun and exciting. So we will kick things off here a little bit here. All three of us obviously have seen Superman 2025. Some of us have varying degrees of appreciation or lacking thereof of the movie. So some of us are Superman fans. Some of us are Batman. Some of us are Flash fans. I'm more of a Batman Flash fan, just so people have that in mind as we have our discussion coming along here. I'll let the fellas describe which more of a fan they are character-wise there, if they want to pipe in there. But for me, myself, being a Batman Flash fan, I actually enjoyed the Superman film. I actually give it a 7.5 rating out of 10, which is slightly different after my initial viewing of it that I told you fellas. Having had repeat viewings of it, I'm feeling pretty confident with a 7.5 rating for Superman. Greatly enjoyed the film, but I'll kind of stop there, let you guys kind of jump in here a little bit, and we'll kind of just have a little discussion here and see how we enjoyed or did not enjoy the film.
Me personally, I am definitely a Batman fan. I am also a Superman fan. I kind of go back and forth, but between the two, I kind of lean a little bit more towards Batman, but it's a close one for me. But the two remain very strong for me. I gave it a 6.5. I believe I had something close to that last time, and after seeing it again, it remains a 6.5. I do enjoy the movie. I will say, having seen it again, I am warming up to it. However, with that, some opinions that I have, I've changed. Others have solidified. So, yeah, sitting at a 6.5.
Okay.
I am a Superman fan.
Hi.
Sounds
like an AA meeting.
And I am a Superman fan. It might be a little bit noticeable, but I may...
for the viewers,
I like Batman. Yes, to the viewers, to all my friends, they know I literally have a tattoo in Kryptonian of my son's name. Hopefully, it's my son's name. It could say something completely different, but I did look it up. So, I mean, I took
say adventure tattooed on his arm. We don't know, but yeah.
Oh, please, Lord. Forgive this man for what he said.
The bad word for nice.
Yes, right.
It is the word that whatever gypsy can curse Niswonger, she will curse him with an adventure, and he will have an adventure like no other.
Oh man, I don't even know. Is my computer just going to burn up?
How many times did I say adventure?
Like 3? Okay. So, when we talked about this earlier, Matt just told me I had the wrong attitude going into this movie. That's what he said. He said you put too much real world into this movie, basically. Go watch it as a comic book movie and try to not be as critical. So I watched this movie again. My score has raised from 5.5 to a 6 because I still have issues with the movie. It's just, I'm trying to like it. I understand what he was going for. I understand the audience. I understand he was separating himself from the previous universe and he was going more comic book lore because that's what he knows. He comes from his background of Marvel making the Guardians of the Galaxy. I believe this movie was Guardians of the Galaxy in the DC universe.
Agreed.
We've seen everything in that movie in a Guardians of the Galaxy style movie. That's one of my issues, including the big fight that Mr. Terrific has with the balls flying around with the music is in every one of his movies in one way or another.
Spoiler alert for those that have not seen the movie, by the way.
Right.
We will be talking about the movie itself and some scenes, but that's all right.
It is
okay.
reminiscent of Yondu, honestly.
Yes.
It really is.
Yes.
Is it not just feel like if you just
Yeah.
paused it and went and played that exact scene, it would queue up almost like in a sense. So
For people who may, okay, I'm going to throw this out there for the Star Wars fans. If you've seen what is it, The Mandalorian season 2 with the Luke Skywalker scene, and then you compare that to the Rogue One scene with Darth Vader, the hallway scene, pretty much the same thing here, where he's attacking and he's taking out guys, and you got Yondu with the glow stick with the whistle and everything.
The arrow.
It's pretty
was
much
seen.
right down the same line.
I mean, the good part is I didn't give anything away, but it is scene for scene, man walking through, things going on in the background that are whooping ass, along with a perfect soundtrack to go with the scene. I'm not saying it's not a kick-ass scene. I'm just saying I've seen it before. It's hard to do the same thing over and over again and go, that was cool. It was like watching Matrix 2 after seeing the original Bullet Time Matrix. You're like, okay. And that by that time, Saturday Night Live had parodied Bullet Time. So you're like, okay, we're getting old here. But, all right. So that one issue, I'm not going to lead the issue. Go to you, Matt. So many. I raised it a 0.5. I did something for you, Matt.
You did. I actually lowered my score even a little. So
okay,
you know,
I couldn't
mean,
remember
if
what you
could
gave
remember,
it before, and you
I actually had it at an 8.5 initially, but upon another reviewing, I dropped it a full point. So 7.5. It's not because of the real world issues or reality based. I went into the movie the first time thinking that I'm going to watch a comic book film, and that's what it was. For those who've seen the Zack Snyder film, the realistic tone, the realistic dark, broody colors scheme that he has, completely opposite.
The sepia
colorful,
filter.
yes,
Yes.
the colorful. I have issue. I don't have issues. I don't prefer the Superman's outfit. No matter how canon or comic book accurate it is, I just think it looks weird. The whole I think it's called The Engineer, the scene there with her when they're in the Fortress of Solitude and they're battling and she's attacking one way and she looks over her shoulder and there's some robots coming out. Instead of just simply turning around, she does this whole handstand backflip and then reforms herself, transforms herself to facing the other way. It's like, really didn't need that. You're just kind of showing that she has superpowers. Okay. Some people have issues that she could link into the computer and she, instead of a Kryptonian, could decode all this stuff. I feel like they were more showing that she has superpower, that she was able to do that she has the capability of doing that as opposed to a Kryptonian.
That's one of my catches to that, though, too, with her being a human and she's
human, but she's a metahuman.
Okay, so let's
human injected with nanobots. That's
let's
what
say
her superpower was. So
let's say that the programming itself. I guess this is the best way I can really logically consider this. So for human programming, you got your ones and zeros, right? But we're talking about an alien programming that may operate on a completely different algorithm, and yet she was able to hack it, whereas the Kryptonian robots were unable to fix.
The
Right.
Kryptonian, who
Make
wrote-
sense of that for me.
Who wrote that? That's my problem with this. They were the architects of this system. They flew the ship here. Their whole, it was cool. It was very cool to see them in a show, like in a movie. That was the first time they showed. I can't remember his name, but he's been in a lot of comics. He was very integral in the death of Superman and the return. He was the one keeping Kal-El in the Matrix while he was absorbing the light and everything in the Fortress of Solitude. He was the one keeping him updated. It was cool seeing him. He looked nothing like he does in the comic.
Is this 4?
Yeah, 4. 4 was is a pretty known, maybe not so much number 4, but the whole robot system in itself is known in the comic book lore. It was cool to see that. It was cool to see more of the Fortress of Solitude played out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I was going with this, but it was.
The hacking.
Oh, yeah. So the computer, she hacks in, and in 5.2 seconds, she's able to decrypt what the Kryptonian robots wrote and put there to help give Kal-El. So if they're a mastermind race, he would have already known to put that into his robots to read the stuff. And yet she walks in, plugs in, and goes, oh, here's the part of the robots would have known he loved that part. So you think with the attitude they gave through the whole thing and him wanting to be called a whole human name, they would have fixed that part and go, hey, by the way, while you were gone, not only were we flipping this high-tech fortress around to get the best sunlight, we also fixed this little glitch in the computer system. Cool. What
would have
they
made
were like,
more
trust me,
sense?
bro.
Yeah. What would have made more sense is if they actually shed a little bit of light on it and found out that 4 was withholding that information, knowing it would have affected him. That actually would have made sense. That storyline would have arced, and then you would have a little bit more of a caveat there. But instead, they said, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
She just magically solved it.
Nah, that.
So, I mean,
trust me, bro.
Little
Trust
thing.
me. I have friends over there in the debunking of alien technology, and they said that's legit. Trust me, bro. That's exactly what I heard when Mr. Terrific said that, and that was their get over that moment. That was what they wrote in the script, the one-liner to help you get over that and go, okay, that's trusted.
So, question, Matt, you said that you dropped at one point. What was it about it that, now that you've watched it again, that caused you to look at it and go, well, okay, maybe not an 8.5?
The scene, as I mentioned, with the engineer, her just doing instead of simply turning around.
The flip, okay.
There were scenes like that. There was kind of like, it feels overcooked. Overproduced, I guess you would say. Like, she didn't have to do that. It was just wanting to show her superpower, show her power that she can do that. Mm-hmm. That's where I'm leaning into her being able to decode that, showing that she has some level of super ability to be able to do that, where, yes, the Kryptonian robots couldn't. Wiseman, I honestly, when you said that, I was already thinking that because the true message, wasn't so favorable.
Right.
And so perhaps they were withholding that information. Oh, we can't figure it out. It just broke. So, Kal-El's not going to know otherwise. He's like, well, surely if they're saying it, then it must not be, because obviously I'm not going to be able to do it. So that's where my initial thoughts was. So that's why it doesn't bother me so much as to where she's doing that. And Mr. Terrific saying, oh, I got buddies on the inside. It is for real, type thing.
Linguists.
They probably could have, as you mentioned, maybe done it a different way, showing either one, that she has that capability of doing it, or, more so, maybe doing it some other time during the movie, or two, that it was being withheld, that 4 could have decoded that and say, we were just trying to protect you type thing. But you also have 4 and the robots, commenting on crypto,
That's
like, Why didn't you scold him? Because he knows we don't care what he does, you know?
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. Was at the same time they're like, we don't give a crap about crypto because we're not programmed to.
Correct.
But they do
Programmed
seem
for
to
the
be
dog.
programmed to be cute to Superman or
Correct.
Kal-El because they bend over backwards for him.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and there's that. You have. I'm glad that they just picked the movie right up as if Superman's been around for a while. We didn't have the whole origin story.
Sure.
How many Superman movies have we had that we had to have the origin story and then it bombed at the box office and we never really got to see much else beyond that? So I'm glad we just picked up and just said, hey, let's bypass that. Let's just start in with some action and build off of that. People are going to go to see this film, for the most part, know what Superman is, who Superman is, know somewhat what the origin story is. If not, they can go read about it or look it up afterwards. You know,
I think that was one of the things that really kicked it off for Brandon Routh. The fact that he was supposed to actually reprise the role that Christopher Reeve left.
Yep.
That was supposed to be the same Superman, the same character, the same universe. Whereas he went to go see Krypton, or at least what was left of Krypton, anything that he could glean off of it, and he was gone for years and then came back. It was one of the very first times that you ever seen, granted, prior to this, we had no other Superman. So
Correct.
That being said, but you're stepping into this when it comes to a movie, and I think that you're onto something when it comes to not seeing the origin story again, because people wanted to see, okay, so we're continuing here. We're not rewriting the script. We're continuing this on. And I think people initially ate that up. Yep. Now, it didn't exactly do the greatest, but I think that the attempt was there. And I think blazing that trail, I think it definitely took a page out of that book in order to do that. And I'm okay with that. I'm definitely in favor of that.
Yep. And honestly, the Superman Returns film is highly underrated in my opinion. I greatly enjoy that film. It is one of the Superman films. I actually probably watch it more than I would Man of Steel, honestly.
Really?
Man of Steel has the more realistic tone, and yes, Henry looks more the part, but the storyline in Superman Returns and just the relationship with Lois, I enjoyed that greatly. I find that of the Superman films, I find that more of that interests me, or I relate to that, or, you know, that type of thing there. Not that I'm Superman, can't relate to that, but just the storyline that they had there, even more so than the Superman 2025. That, you know, Kal-El, Superman, Lois, you know, where it's kind of was a different relationship that they were having. Her already knowing who he was and is, you know, I mean, you have that aspect there too, where in some of the other films, they typically don't know their, you know, secret identity. So I mean, yes, Superman Returns, highly underrated. It's a great film. So, too, I really enjoyed that they did not do an origin. They had a few flashbacks, but you know, those were kind of more nostalgia flashbacks for people, you know, the character. So
I think Superman Returns has one of the most awesome Superman scenes in it, and it's the one where Superman's on the rooftop and he's just walking towards the guy laying into him with the 50 cal, I think, and it just
Gatling gun.
Yeah, and it hits his eye and drops, and the look he gives is like, what did you freaking expect? And I thought that was done so well. Like that's Superman right there. It hit him in the eyeball and he didn't blink. He just smirked at you like, all right, let's play this game.
Yep, that is really,
And he got in the airplane. His first line was, statistically speaking, air flight is blah blah blah. Insert Christopher Reeves.
That whole airplane scene is one of the best Superman in any Superman film. Is one of the best scenes. Him saving that plane and the whole Lois being on the plane, and you know, seeing him fly by, her having not seen him, you know, in all these years, and then. That it's just I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that scene. It's just great.
I think it was definitely that nod to the generation that enjoyed Christopher Reeve, and to have that Lois interaction and longed to see that again in the silver screen. And then here you are, You're back at the theater. You see Superman. You have Lois. She's in need. He does it in a superb fashion. And what's the line that he delivers? The same line that Christopher Reeves. And so you're bringing an old group back and saying, we know you.
Yep.
Here it is. I think that's what this movie's missing.
The problem with this movie is when you take the 2025 version of Superman that this movie is based off, which is the all-star version of Superman. And yes, Matt, what you said, his costume was very faithful to the comics.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I like it because I am a Superman fan of Christopher Reeves, which is the original. That bothered me. That was hard to get over because Superman is an intimidating figure. He is 6'6" of nothing but raw steel muscle. And that costume looked like he'd taken a few days off at the gym. I'm sorry. Like it was baggy in places that I know that it was more of an armor kind of where they were going, but Superman never needed armor. He is never his skin is armor. Like he doesn't need
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
So Nice Hunger, what was it about this movie for the 2025 that you gave it that 0.5 point markup? What was it about it that after you watched it, you said, okay, I'm going to give it a little bit more?
Well, because
what
I
stood
went
out?
into it with the 2013 mind frame of serious. This is, and I knew it was going, I was trying to go into it unbiased completely. I purposefully read no reviews. I was trying to go into it and watch this for what it was. And I knew it was going to be comic book based, but I think I was just so in the zone of the Zack Snyder version that it was just hard to get over the little real world intricacies of it. I gave it a better score because he fights a kaiju and that scene is entertaining. Like the little things, rescuing the squirrel out of nowhere is entertaining and something the big Boy Scout would do in a comic book. I mean, they did put a lot of good Easter eggs and callbacks, and like the Fortress of Solitude, I'd never seen that idea of it following the sun. So I thought that was a cool idea that I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
So I gave it a better score. But the more you think about the plot of this and the more you see, like Matt, you said, they did the engineer, she turned around super like just to show she was a robot. There's a river that is supposed to be very hard on you, and Superman falls in it and he's drowning in it and still fighting these other people who are having no problem avoiding this and shooting like it didn't make sense. And it looked like he was in, if y'all ever went to gymnastics and you saw that pool full of square sponge balls,
foam pit.
Yeah, that looked like what he was swimming in. I don't know why, but I was like, he's in a foam pit. Like, relax. Down that.
Or something out of the movie Wreck-It Ralph, something along those lines. Yeah.
And then
Pixelated.
his super breath. It's just, I know it's Superman lore-ish, but it seemed over complicated and like it was purposefully there to add tension, and it was hard to get that tension added if plot device.
I think here's one of my biggest issues that I have with it, and that is I understand that there's this for a lot of viewers, maybe not for the comic book readers, because for the comic book readers, I don't feel like you see this issue. So I'll get to the point. The point is they really tried to hammer home that Superman is human, that he has these human personalities. Well, guess what? He's not. He's an alien. He is Kryptonian. Now, can he adopt emotions to that? Yes, but they were really trying to hammer home that, he has feelings and that he's human and your words can hurt me.
Yeah.
This is the Man of Steel.
Yeah.
This is the man who is unbreakable. This is the man of men. I don't know how many of you guys, if either one of you have seen the memes that's been going out where it's like there's like a little icon of Superman where somebody does this like great and wonderful deed, like catches a fist from somebody else before he punches somebody, and you hear this, the Starman song, and you have Superman. I'm being extremely vague. Those of you who are listening who know what I'm talking about, great. Those of you who don't, I'm so sorry. It's my fault. But there's a point where you have to acknowledge, okay, yes, I see what you're trying to say, that he is human. To a degree, he's an alien. That's what helps him stand out. He bears the toil, he bears the burden of humanity on his shoulders to see the good in people, to bring about, a better society. The other thing I was going to say was the part that I had a really tough time with, which, Matt, I know that you're going to harken back to. Remember, it's a comic book movie, but where they turned off a singularity and the city zipped back together as if, it was an XYZ zipper. So one doesn't turn off a singularity. Number one, you don't access a MacBook and go click, pew. And then the city goes, oh, fix it. So I had some issues there.
It was a little crooked.
Some
Mr. T was,
continuity.
Mr. Terrific was trying to fix it. I mean,
and obviously, it was that tongue in cheek of saying, it's not perfect. Okay, all right, tongue in cheek. You can make fun of it yourself. I get it, but there's some continuity things in there where I'm like, really?
Let's just say. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
In a comic book, that would probably only have been about a page or two. You flipped a page or two, and in the city and the comic book would be back together. I mean, we are watching a comic book movie here, fellas. That's why I keep hearkening back to you. So.
And you would be right about that. Yes.
Look, if I'm going to go through a natural disaster, I want to live in Metropolis because they apparently completely wiped it out of citizens in like a 30-minute notice time. And this is a singularity cracking the world in half in the ocean. And then it does it to skyscrapers and knocks like 6 of them over domino style. And then it just, did it put it, those 6 skyscrapers? Did they get put back together too when he zipped up the whole land, or are they?
The city went bankrupt.
There's got to be some rebuilding to be done there.
This is
he was going to have to
go Metropolis.
He's going to have to go down to Gotham and get Bruce, to help him. There's going to be something going on there.
That city is in natural disaster at this point. Like they are having
state of emergency.
Yeah, there is a curfew in place after this happens, and they're like, everything's grand.
Yeah. Well, and obviously my score is higher than these two fellas here, and the true hardest of hard Superman fan is the lowest score on this panel here, as you guys can see, and the highest is a true Batman Flash fan. So that's why it's so odd for me to defend this movie when I'm not even. I enjoy Superman, but I can't say that I am a true Superman fan. It's not even close for me. Who's your favorite character? Oh, Batman, Flash. It's just it's so odd for me to be trying to defend this film and have a higher rating on it. But I think it's just because I went into it with the mindset of I'm going to watch a comic book film. It's from a guy who's knocked it out of the park with some other films that no one had any idea who those characters were, and comes away from Marvel saying that is one of the best franchises in Marvel. With some of the best characters, and that is all character-driven, plot-driven. Yes, I felt like we were watching maybe a Guardians movie in DC, but it's a good formula.
It is,
sure.
but they used the same ending as Iron Man, or no, as the Avengers. Like they used the same style ending.
Yes,
almost scene for scene of that one too.
I mean, who cannot have enjoyment with the Justice Gang? I mean, that whole scene, and 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 he kept trying to get Justice Gang, and then he's like, he doesn't want the new guy on the team until he says,
"Hey, that
Justice
sounds
Gang,
cool."
that sounds really cool. Hey, welcome to the
You're in.
you're in. It's just, I mean, for a movie, Tanya has obviously no background. She's completely unbiased. I asked her how she felt about this film. She gave it a 9.5 right out of the gate. I was like, really? It's almost a perfect. She's like, what? And she's like, fine, a 9. She was, and she hit it just so clearly because she said it so perfectly, because it was like, this movie made me feel all the emotions. It made me happy. It made me sad, nervous, hopeful, anxious. She's like, it hit all those points throughout this film. That's a good film when it can do all those things in one film.
Fair point.
And I was like, perfectly said. That is, it makes you feel all those emotions, and that's a result of good storytelling, good writing. And makes, for me, I am interested to see where they go with the next film, and and everything. So it's, if it wasn't that well written, I'd be like, I'll probably wait for that to hit streaming. Not for me. I'm like, next one comes out, okay, I'll go see it in the theater. It may be on a matinee, but I don't care. I'm still going to see it on the big screen. And so, yeah.
So I've already kind of given it. One, I've given it my review. Two, I've been hard on it, but I will go ahead and share at least some of the parts that I did like.
Yeah.
One, I really enjoyed Lois's character.
Sorry for not asking.
That's okay. I liked Jimmy's character. I like Jimmy Olsen. I really do. I like what Nathan Fillion is doing with the Green Lantern.
Yep.
Now, did I care about any of the other ones, Mr. Fantastic or Hawk Girl or anything? No, not so much. But I've always been a huge Nathan Fillion fan, especially since Firefly. So I'm huge Nathan Fillion fans. But
he is a good guy, Gardner.
He's a good guy, Gardner. He does a great job with it. I do like Superman's naive, happy-go-lucky personality, except for the little emo points where he's like, but I'm having a tough time, and the guys have got that monster, in the background while I'm talking to Lois. First of all, Superman would never do that. He would never sit on the sidelines to let something like that happen. He would go after it. My opinion. May not be a popular.
Matt likes this scene.
I enjoyed that scene because he said it perfectly. No, they got it.
This is definitely a Guardians of the Galaxy type of thing, though, because you see that with Groot at the very beginnings, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, where Groot's over here dancing away while they're trying to tackle the big monster that's shooting. What is it? Rainbow light, whatever it is. And so now you got Superman that's talking to Lois as he's kind of having an existential crisis. And it's shooting rainbow light, and Guy Gardner's like beating it with a bat. I love that.
A green.
Yeah. So, I mean, it had some humor behind it. I am willing to definitely look at that because, I mean, I don't want to be too hard on it to where I'm not appreciating the humor that's behind it. With that said, as a consumer, and as somebody who really appreciates the art and the filmmaking in it, I desire for somebody who's going to take the mantle of Superman's a character that I truly do enjoy, and not rinse off Guardians of the Galaxy, put a little extra paint on it, and then try to sell it to me and say this is Superman. Because I do like Guardians of the Galaxy too. I think that what he's done with it, I think he's done a phenomenal job, and I'm definitely willing to get behind that. But I don't want you to mix the two because they have no place together. And as a consumer, I really want that artistry to shine and for it to be original. If you want the Superman to be original, then make it original. Don't wash it off come up with something new. Otherwise, it just turns into lazy writing. And that's the part that I have an issue with, just because as a moviegoer, I'm a huge proponent of movies. I love movies. I love the writing behind it. I love the screenplay. I love the humor. I love the back scenes to it. But like I said, as a consumer, if you treat me like an idiot and I'm looking at something going, something looks familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it, don't treat me like that.
Even the flying. He used the same style of flying as he used for Adam Strange in the Marvel Universe. If you go back, it's the exact same style of the face. It's the upward look, straight back, faces in focus and like a fisheye. It was distracting because, like you said, Wiseman, when you're going in to see an all-new reimagined and it's just Marvel scenes pieced together with Superman on the packaging, it's hard to watch this as an original movie.
As a consumer, it's insulting.
Okay. For both of you fellas, and then I'll have a follow-up also for you, Wiseman, here, with something you just said there. But for both of you, if you can somehow erase Guardians of the Galaxy out of your mind. You've never seen Guardians of the Galaxy. You don't know any of the plot points. You don't know any of the humor. And you just went and watched Superman 2025. How are you walking out of the theater?
I'm going to say I loved it. I mean, you've created a vacuum, though.
No,
but
you.
But I would say I love it.
You went and saw Superman 2025, having not seen any of the Guardians films. The humor that the director puts into the plot points and everything.
If you're going into it that way, you're walking out of this movie laughing and thinking it's a great movie because you haven't seen all the scenes that we've just discussed. It's brand new to you. I can see that giving you a higher rating. So is that why you're saying that it has such a high rating? Is because it's the younger
for
kids
myself?
Who...
Well, no, for myself, I don't care that it's been rinsed and repeated there. For me, hey, that humor, that storyline, of course, it's not identical because Guardians and Superman, two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Good formula. I enjoy that formula. I don't care how many times I see that formula. It's a good formula. For Wiseman, my follow-up is, you're talking about consumer. I know you're a big Star Wars fan, as am I. And the big issue for the last three films, people are saying, hey, this is basically A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It's not very creative. Hey, well, guess what? This is
lazy
Plot
writing.
point. Yeah. And so a lot of people degrade the final three Star Wars films in the franchise, which sadly J.J. Abrams, one of my favorite directors, was on board for two of them. So does those final three Star Wars films, are they lessons in your eyes because of that then?
Yes.
Based upon the facts that, so that is a hurting point. I have other people that say the exact same thing. I guess, again, for me, yes, I recognize it. I see it, but it doesn't bother me because I enjoyed the original formula. And so I'm seeing it, obviously, in the formula, yes, but, slightly different characters slightly played out. Is it lazy? Yes. Is it predictable? Yes. But I still enjoy it. It's just like watching a favorite film. You know how it's going to end. You're still going to watch it. It's like going to see what they call the popcorn movie, action movie flicks. You're going to go in there and just turn your brain off because none of it's going to make sense. None of it's going to be reality based. But hey, it's going to be a good time. A lot of things going to go boom. There's going to be some humor in it, and it's for me. I can enjoy those films just as much as I can enjoy a rinse repeat type of plot line. So
I can definitely get behind the theory on that. I think when it comes to when you go on a deeper dive when it comes to a movie, and you kind of get into the more the gritty parts, the backstage, the storylines,
the nuance.
of a movie, the true artistic taste behind it, and not to get all fancy pantsy, you know, like, oh, I only watch the good movies, the ones that only get the Emmys and whatever. It's not necessarily that, but it's more so the art behind it. Let's take, for example, I think it wasn't Michael Bay, it was Transformers. Jerry
Michael
Bruckheimer.
Bay, Bruckheimer, yeah.
So there was a scene that was done in.
Sneeze, sorry guys.
Yeah, bless you.
Oh, thank you.
There was a scene that was done in Transformers. One of the Transformers. It was a rinsed out scene that J.J. Abrams had done in The Island with Ewan McGregor, and it was a car chase scene. And when I watched Transformers, there was a scene to it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this looks familiar. I swear I've seen this from somewhere, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Well, the great thing about technology is you can see some of those films over again, and then you piece it together. Walt Disney did the same thing. He did the same thing when it comes to the Jungle Book and with Robin Hood. And, you know, you take kind of the bones of it, and then you redress it as new characters. And then finally you're able to watch that and go, oh, I see what you did there. So obviously it's a skill that's been tried and done before and succeeded many times over. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
With that said, that shtick can only last so long before people are like, nah, it's been done.
Yeah.
You know, and then and then you lose an audience based on what? Because you didn't have originality to it. You couldn't put something else into it. And again, I don't want to give him too hard of a time, because like you had said, had I not watched Guardians of the Galaxy, would I like it? Yeah, I probably would. I probably would like it, because it would be the first time watching something like that, and I would say, hey, that's original.
Groundbreaking. Mm-hmm.
It would be, but the problem is like when Wiseman is talking about that, when he watched the Island movie and he saw that scene, or whichever movie it was that made you think about that, that took him out of the moment at that exact moment of watching that movie. When I'm watching these things, and the first thing I saw was, what was it? The first thing that took me out of that movie, I stopped caring. Like at that point, I was like, oh man, that's, So it took me out, and I wasn't able to get back into that same momentum watching the rest of the movie. And then when I saw other things, it would be like, well, it would take me out again. Well, that's a Guardians of the Galaxy repeat right there. That was a cool scene, but I've seen it before. Like that's why I think it was so hard for me to get into the momentum to enjoy the movie for what it was a comic book movie. It was because it kept distracting me with the redos of the scenes and the plot holes. And I'm a Superman fan. I like the movie, but at the same time, it distracted me. It did something. Right. It didn't.
I will say this. Matt touched on this. I will say this. Will they get my money at the box office again to watch the next movie? Yeah, they will. They will. Yeah. I mean, they're going to win anyways. So, I mean, because I'm going to be that hopeful. I am that hopeful of, give me the Superman that I want. I want to go watch that. I want that content. I want that story.
Honestly, since Christopher Reeves, we haven't had a true sequel to a Superman film. So, I'm excited for that. So, well, fellas, did you have anything else, Nicewanger?
I will say, I do like how James Gunn is. Have either of you watched Peacemaker on HBO?
Sadly, I have not. I have heard it's great, though.
If you watch Peacemaker, it is great. It combines, you definitely know the universes are all the same, and they use in like the first or second episode of season 2, they put Peacemaker in front of Matt Stark, which was the Guardians of the guy who's Yondu now in Guardians of the Galaxy, and Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl. Like they're there, the actors Nathan Fillion, and then here in this last episode, he talked to Lex Luthor, which was played by the same actor who played Superman Lex Luthor. So it is cool to see that continue
in the same universe.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm happy about this. I'm excited about that at least.
So Superman, kind of across the board, middle of the range for most of us, a little bit higher range on the end. Definitely go see it, guys. Let us know what you think about it. Send us an email, let you know what you think, if one of us is on the right track, or if you have the same disagreements or agreements with the video, with the movie. Email us. Nice Warrior, you want to give it a shot with the email this week? I know Wiseman's got it down, Sal Pat.
Email us at twcg@gmail.com.
Close.
That's
Close.
twcgchat@gmail.com.
I missed the chat. twcgchat@gmail.com.
There you go.
It was good. You
There
did
you
good.
go. Well, fellas, we're going to move over. We got 2 segments here. We're going to squeeze in here. Next segment we're going to do is a cut 5, keep 5.
Okay.
And it is going to be based. You may want to write these down here so you can have them in front of you. But cut 5, keep 5 of candy. First one on the list here is good old Butterfinger. Next one on the list, M&M's. Next one, Twix. Lifesaver gummies. Dove chocolates. Twizzlers. Milky Way. Snickers. Skittles. And Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. All right, fellas, of that list there, which 5 are you keeping and which 5 are you cutting? Obviously, it'd probably be easier just to tell me the 5 that you would keep, and obviously the other 5 wouldn't be automatically disqualified.
I'm putting them in order now.
And as those guys are working on it, I actually already have my list put together. I am keeping Lifesaver gummies, Dove chocolates, Twizzlers, Milky Ways, and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Those would be my 5 that I am keeping there. The rest of them are cuts for me.
Are these Reese's Peanut Butter Cups or Reese's Pieces?
They're cups.
Peanut butter cups.
Okay.
Not pieces. Peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got mine.
All right. Who would like to go next?
Go, Wiseman. Ladies first.
Okay. Go fancy. So my keep 5 are Reese's cups.
Hey!
Reese's cups, Butterfingers, M&M's, Twix, and Twizzlers. Because you can't go wrong with Twizzlers. Twizzlers is kind of the
You gotta have that plastic
oldie
candy.
but a goodie.
That's right.
You gotta have those
have it.
shoestrings.
That's right. What do you got
As
there, Nice Swinger?
Any of you know who may have been around me when there's chocolate around, I have an uncontrollable urge to just stuff as much chocolate in my mouth as I can. So basically get rid of everything that's not chocolate on this list. M&M's, Twix, Dove chocolate, by far number 1, Dove chocolate, Milky Way, and Reese's Pieces.
Okay.
Or Reese's Peanut Butter
Pieces.
Cups.
I was gonna
Reese's
say, they're
Peanut
not
Butter
on the
Cups.
list.
Yeah, that's why Ash, that's why I was going to say it doesn't matter. I was going to pick it either way. You could have said Reese's Peanut Butter Cup
But
pretzels.
you
and
didn't
I'd
go
have
with
been yes.
Snickers at all. That's interesting. Okay.
I'm not. Look, like this
Or
smile
Butterfinger.
I have this smile I have. It doesn't do well with nuts. They're like little landmines at certain times. If I get them in between the smile.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would hurt, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's not great. So all those things like are very easy to eat in chocolate terms. That is why I am not so much a gummy bear fan or Skittles person.
Lifesaver gummies. Yeah.
Because I want to eat it around you guys, but I also want to talk while I'm eating or discuss. And if I did that, it would look bad. It would be awkward.
I will say that one of the candies that might be interchangeable would be the Twix and the Milky Way. I could possibly switch that out for a keep, because depending on your night, I could either go for a Twix or I could definitely go for a Milky Way. So
There
those
you go.
two are, Mars, most of what I have is Mars owned anyway.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. So
boy,
I could
you guys remember the Mars bars? Where did that go?
yes.
I don't know. They were great.
You could probably still find them in some obscure candy shop somewhere, I'm sure.
The dark chocolate Mars was
That's
my
right.
favorite.
I actually.
Or for all those Lost fans, the Apollo bar.
The Apollo bar, yeah.
Ooh, I never liked Butterfinger. I don't know what it is about
Oh,
Really?
Butterfingers.
It gets
Yeah,
stuck in my
Butterfinger's
teeth,
good.
and it's
Yeah.
so annoying to me. I was like, yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
It's like
so
they
good.
took a
I try to
Choco
bite
Taco.
down.
It feels like they took a Choco Taco and put chocolate on it. Is that,
Or
is that what it is?
Basically, it feels like almost the Chico sticks?
It
Those Chico
is.
sticks.
I was gonna say that, just
Oh.
covered in chocolate.
Oh, not
That's
Choco
Choco
all it
Taco.
is.
I don't know why I said Choco Taco. Chico sticks. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
No wonder you
yeah,
guys
it's
looked
the
at me
Chico sticks.
confused. Like, what?
Like,
Choco
mm,
Taco. I don't know if I've
okay,
had
I don't know
that.
what kind of
That's
chocolate
right.
taco you're having, but all right.
Chico stick covered with chocolate. That's exactly what
Yeah.
a Butterfinger is, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
Pretty close.
And
yeah.
if you bite down on that Butterfinger just enough, you can break off the chocolate without having to get into the Chico bar,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Why?
But yeah, I love.
yeah, that's what I would
I don't.
do.
I don't know
chocolate.
why.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I do it. I do. Anytime I have a Butterfinger, I'll
He's
bite
a-
down
he's a
and I'll just
nibbler.
chip off the chocolate and leave the little bar, the crunchy bar on there, and I'll eat the crunchy bar by itself.
Yeah.
That's too much
Little
work for chocolate.
nibbler.
It's weird.
Just
It's weird.
eat
Yeah,
the
I'm a
whole thing.
nibbler. I'm a nibbler.
Oh.
Very good, guys. I like it. That was good. That was quick. We'll have some more of those coming up down the road there.
Okay.
All right. So the last section we'll get to here this evening, I've teased this for at least a week or so. We're going to have a 3-on-3 battle royale. It's going
Ooh.
to play out in ChatGPT. Each gentleman will get to choose 3 superheroes. I will have veto power because I have a feeling Nicemonger may pull out an obscure character here. I already had one in mind when I thought of this scenario because that's who I would have picked. And I will have
Don't
to
put me
veto
on the
him right
spot.
away.
Don't put me on the spot like this.
So-
You thought I'd get Superman that one time. Very much
But
disappointed.
But
you,
basically, comic book characters, Marvel, DC. Think of 3 characters that you would like, and you guys are squaring off against each other, and these are your 3 combatants who are battling for you. This is going to be a winner-take-all battle, and I will tell you, the battle is taking place on Cybertron, so you guys do have that element there, so think about that as well. Some characters may or may not perform very well on a planet, Cybertron, which is a machine level. So think about that as well. So think of 3 comic book characters that you would like. And obviously, they don't have to all be DC or Marvel. Mix and match, however you want to do. Has to be 3 different characters. Has to be baseline characters. It cannot be the Omega level of a certain character. Literally the baseline level of these characters. Does that kind of make sense to everyone there, what we're doing here?
I think so. I was going to ask, do you have any vetoed characters that are not allowed?
He is. Going
I'm not going to mention that to you. No.
No.
Well, not veto
Oh,
Doomsday.
oh,
No.
okay.
So I do have veto power of what you guys choose. Now, I will say this. After you guys list your 3 characters, each of you will get the chance to eliminate one of the other person's characters where they then have to think up of a new character. So kind of a little, give me your first 3. Okay, the other person eliminate one of those. Think of another one there. So as you're thinking here, you might want to think of 4 characters, knowing that one of them is going to be eliminated right away.
Okay.
All right, we're on
then-
Cybertron, and we're just
Yeah.
sending over people to fight you, like fight your characters on Cybertron.
You 2 are battling out. Think of it like Game of Thrones. And when Tyrion had to select a champion to fight for him, you are selecting 3 champions to fight for you. And Wiseman is picking 3 champions to fight for him. Winner takes all. Whoever survives gets to leave the planet Cybertron, and whoever does not, well, that's your final spot. So it is a winner take all battle royale. 1 round. We're not going to do best. I don't think we're going to do the best 2 out of 3. We'll just do 1 round. So think about this. I had fun with this. When I was thinking of this and squaring off with some different characters, and location does matter. I will just say that, fellas.
All right.
Okay, I'm good to go.
All right, Wiseman. Who are your 3 combatants that you're going to go into the ring with?
My 3 combatants are Rogue,
Okay.
Magneto,
Ooh, that's a good
and Lobo.
Very good. What you got, Niswanger?
I'm going with Cyborg because I believe he will help me be able to use Cyber to my advantage. But now I'm thinking against Magneto. He's a bit cooked. I'm going with Doomsday because he's the ultimate weapon. He will just beat the tar out of you. He doesn't need oxygen. He doesn't need Cybertron's. He's just going to beat it up. Like what? I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah. I think Wiseman's got a character on there that would take care of him. But who you got for 3rd?
Brainiac. I'm going with Brainiac just because he's a good mix of being able to beat the crap out of you mixed with being able to take control of Cybertron to help it beat the crap out of you.
All right, Wiseman. You have now the chance to eliminate one of Niswanger's characters. Which one are you going to eliminate?
I'm going to eliminate. Trying to think of his name now. I can't think of his name.
He has Cyborg, Doomsday, and Brainiac.
Cyborg.
He's getting rid of Cyborg. Okay. All right. Who are you eliminating there, Niswanger?
Wiseman, could you repeat for
He
me?
has Rogue, Magneto, and Lobo. This should be an easy one.
I think I'm taking out Magneto.
Ooh, okay. Not the one I would have went with. Okay, next one. Okay, fellas, each have to think of one more character then, and this is going to lock you in place for your battle. Okay? So, Wiseman, who's your replacement for Magneto? You now have Rogue and Lobo.
Doctor Strange.
Very good.
Ooh, he'll be able to whip you.
Okay, Niswanger, you still have Doomsday and Brainiac. Who do you have replacing Cyborg?
I'm going back in with Superman. I'm bringing him in for the fight.
He kind of held him out, I'm sure, so he couldn't eliminate him. That was well played. Well played, Niswanger. Well played.
If you're taking Doomsday out, I was putting Superman in there, but now we got 2 fighters and a guy who can control. I'm good on this fight.
It sounds like
All
it.
right. Let me input your data here, fellas, and we're going to see how this plays out.
Oh my goodness, ChatGPT can answer this for us,
And
probably could make a video of them fighting too.
probably. Honestly, Niswanger, I thought you would have taken out Lobo because that's basically Superman who cannot die. He has no weakness.
It is, but Doomsday can handle Lobo for me. Because if Lobo killed Superman and Superman's more powerful than Lobo, like we
Do you know what Superman's susceptible to though?
Kryptonite.
Dark magic.
Dark magic. Is Lobo? Lobo's not dark magic.
Doctor
is he?
Strange.
Oh yeah, good one. Good one. But I've got Brainiac who's able to get into Doctor Strange's mind and
I was trying to make sure you understood. Cybertron does not have a yellow sun. Therefore, his powers will drain. So
no. What color is the sun in Cybertron?
It's red, not yellow. I'm just trying to tell you, it's not yellow.
Is it red?
I don't believe so. We're getting ready to see what ChatGPT thinks here.
Oops, sorry.
So a 3-on-3 battle. I know you're getting excited there. 3-on-3 battle. Which team wins? The battle takes place on Cybertron. Team 1 has Rogue and Doctor Strange and Lobo. Team 2 has Superman and Doomsday and Brainiac. The battle is a winner-takes-all, last team standing. All right, ChatGPT, and I will read you out the results here as it's computing. All right, let's break this down. 3-on-3 showdown. Cybertron, metallic planet, artificial atmosphere, extreme energy fields. All right. And it does a nice little breakdown of which each character can do. Do you want me guys to read that off? Might as well. It's fun here.
Sure.
Team 1, Rogue, Doctor Strange, and Lobo. Rogue can absorb powers, memories, and life force through touch. If she manages to touch Superman or Doomsday even briefly, she could borrow immense Kryptonian power. But she's vulnerable to ranged or instant attacks before she can make contact. Doctor Strange, master of the mystic arts, capable of multiverse-level spells, time manipulation, portals, shields, astral projection, and dimensional traps. He's versatile, makes him a battlefield controller. He can banish, contain, or redirect energy attacks. Against Brainiac, Strange mind defenses and illusion spells could block telepathic and tephratic intrusion. So basically, he neutralizes Brainiac.
Mm-hmm.
Lobo, DC's main man, with super strength near Superman's level, regenerative healing, and weapons capable of planetary damage. On Cybertron, a meta world, he could use environmental tech and raw durability to thrive. Nearly impossible to kill permanently. Team 2, Superman, Doomsday, Brainiac. So that was a good lineup for Team 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Superman, strength, speed, heat vision, and near invulnerability. On Cybertron, no yellow sun interference. But he likely still receives solar radiation, still operates near full power. His moral code may hold him back a touch, though. This is a winner takes all. So accept him to fight to win. Expect him to fight to win. Doomsday, engineered to evolve beyond any attack that's killed him before, nearly unstoppable physically, immune to magic over time, depending on the encounter. On Cybertron, metallic terrain, his raw brute force is a huge advantage. Brainiac, 12th level intellect, telepathic control, force fields, energy manipulation, and teleportation. On Cybertron, he could interface with the planet's systems, giving them Team 2 environmental control, instant reinforcements, surveillance, and power redirection. Ooh, that's kind of a tough matchup there. Battle breakdown, early fight. Early fight, battle breakdown. We are battling now. Doomsday and Lobo collide first. A brutal building level brawl. Building level brawl. Neither goes down fast. Superman likely engages Strange first, trying to blitz him before complex spells form. Strange counters with shields and portals. Rogue initially plays support. If she touches Doomsday or Superman, the tide shifts fast. Mid-battle, Brainiac begins assimilating Cybertron's network, turning the planet into a weapon. Strange must multitask, banishing Doomsday or containing Brainiac with a dimensional trap. Lobo's regeneration keeps him in it, possibly double-teaming Doomsday alongside Rogue. Late game. If Strange successfully traps Brainiac in a mirror dimension, for instance, Team 1 gains breathing room. Rogue, absorbing Kryptonian power, gives her near Superman strength temporarily, potentially matching him. However, if Brainiac gains full control of Cybertron's systems, Team 2 becomes unstoppable. Doomsday and Superman get tactically planetorial support. Verdict. Here's the verdict. Which team's going to win? Team 2 wins barely.
Oh.
Reasoning. Brainiac's control over Cybertron gives too much of a strategic advantage. Doomsday's adaptation neutralizes much of Strange's magic over time. Even if Strange eliminates Brainiac early, Superman and Doomsday together overwhelm with raw physical dominance. Rogue and Lobo are formidable, but they lack consistent ways to permanently stop Doomsday or outlast Superman. Final outcome, last standing, Superman and Doomsday with Brainiac systems flickering across Cybertron's core. Margin, high destruction victory. Team 1 put up an incredible fight, but Teams 2 synergy and planetary control win the day.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
there.
sir.
Wiseman, I went in with that.
Great job, Team 2. Great job.
I went in with that, going with the ones who were able to assimilate with Megatron, or with the. I knew they would be able,
Cybertron.
because if you deleted Cyborg I would have still had Brainiac. If you would have deleted Brainiac, I would have still had Cyborg. If you deleted Doomsday, I would have still put in Superman. If you deleted, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was hoping
I like it.
strategically. All right.
That's good. You might have wanted to keep Magneto as your ace up your sleeve there, Wiseman, because that is a planet made of metal there. That
But at the same time, I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to keep up my sleeve because I think it was really going to come down to Magneto or Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange is definitely going to be able to assist. Without Doctor Strange, I think it would have been over quick.
Mm-hmm.
Adding Magneto on there. Yeah, adding Magneto on there, I think he would have tried to assist in some way, but as long as there's an operating system, Strange can keep him at bay while at the same time deflecting and stopping Superman. So,
well, the thing about
Strange
Magneto,
was that
he would have
Go ahead.
deflected Brainiac taking over the thing. Like, he would have been able, with his control of metal and that whole place being a chunk of metal, he would have had control of that. No matter how much Brainiac would have been in there, he would have just been like gone. You know what I mean? Like, you want to fight? Boom. Doctor Strange, take us to a different planet. Skronk. I just took out the planet.
I'm surprised. Well, Nicewunger wouldn't have picked him probably because he doesn't know much about him. But Wiseman, I mean, Doctor Doom was sitting out there.
I was thinking Doctor Doom, but at the same time, I didn't want to go too hard. I didn't know if Nicewunger was basically going to go for planet-ending characters. I wasn't sure, so I was trying to go with more creative.
I had veto power if you guys, but I would have allowed Doctor Doom. The one character I thought Nicewunger probably was going to pull out, and I'm shocked did not. That I would not allow in any of these battles is Dr. Manhattan. That's just that just doesn't work. I'm sorry.
It just kind of snaps and everybody's gone.
Oh, he don't even need to do that. He can just think it.
He's God level. He's ridiculous level powers. I don't even ever really
in these scenarios that I put. No matter where I put it, if I have Dr. Manhattan on any team, that team wins. It's just not even a contest because it basically says he just thinks them out of existence and they are no longer there. So, so I had fun creating this here. I hope you guys had fun with this as well.
Oh yeah,
we will do some more. We will do some more battle royales, not necessarily with comic book characters. We might put some wrestlers here in place. You know, what 3 wrestlers? We might do a little 3-on-3 basketball. What 3 players would you pick going again? ChatGTP is pretty fun. Pretty fun. So it can do more than just solve everyday's world problems. It can put comic book characters into
fighting. We've got team deathmatch for us older kids. Yeah.
So, but no, that's
good game.
Had a good time around the water cooler here this week, fellas. Had a great time. I hope everyone else did as well. But we will end that this week here with our time around the water cooler. We'll wrap it up and hope you guys enjoyed your time listening. We had a great time discussing. And we will catch you next week. Same time, same water cooler. And remember to stay cool and stay questionable. Catch you guys later.
Bye.